Hello, friends. Today's episode is brought to you by From Within Records. Sheer Force, Streets of Pain is out now. Please go boot up your Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, whatever. Support Sheer Force, stream Streets of Pain. They're an awesome band and they're doing cool stuff right now. If you're not following From Within Records on social media, please boot up your Twitter, your Instagram, click that follow button to stay up to date on all the current news. They have a cool sale of random t-shirts going on right now. I think it's 15 bucks a pop, which is a really nice deal for a t-shirt. Because you think about these days, prices are pretty high, which is understandable. So if you can pick up a t-shirt for $15, I think that's awesome. So please head over to the link in their bio and head over and check out the sale before it's too late. And all shirts will ship out immediately. Also, there's a new newsletter, so please head over to the From Within Records website and enter your email to be signed up for the new newsletter. And like I always say, please support From Within Records because they support us. If you're looking for high quality merch for your band, for your business, please support my friends over at Good Fortune Printing out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. They're always doing awesome stuff, working with awesome bands. I'm so proud of what they've accomplished, and I'm so happy to be working with them. So shout out to Good Fortune Printing. You can follow them on Instagram at Good Fortune Printing, or if you want to get in contact with them, please email them, contact@goodfortuneprinting.com. Before we get into today's guest, Twice is upon us. This week, today's Tuesday, on Saturday, I will be seeing Twice again, this time at SoFi Stadium in LA, which is insane because you think about that whole park. I've been to Twice at the Forum. I've seen ITZY and aespa at the YouTube Theater, but here we are now for the main event. We're heading to the giant football stadium, which I was originally supposed to go to in 2020 to see Taylor Swift for her Lovers Fest, but that got canceled. We all know why. But fast forward to 2023, and I'm finally going to enter the stadium, but not for Taylor Swift, for Twice. And this is something truly amazing, because if you jump back to the first time I saw Twice, I went solo, right? I traveled to the Forum, and it was cool, right? Mind you, I had front row seats. It was an amazing first experience to see Twice. But I was just a little bit sad because I was like, man, the only thing that would make this better is if I went with my friends. But at the time, I kind of dove into this whole K-pop thing alone, and I, tried to get my friends into it. I specifically remember a time sitting in my bedroom with Nate and Garrett, and I put on a mix, or it's like a playlist of Twice music videos, and they didn't get it. But I totally understand. It's fine. At least they gave it a shot, right? They're willing to put up with it and watch a couple music videos. But it's not for everybody, which is totally fine. So I went to that one alone, which was cool, but whatever. Like I said, would have been better with friends. But through just going to different K-pop concerts and talking about it so much on here and on Instagram and Twitter, I just, this is something that I've been known for, right? To be such a big fan of K-pop, and then eventually going to more shows, running into actual hardcore kids and talking to them. Because when I went and saw Twice for the first time, there was a dude, and I should have said something, but whatever. He was wearing a Have Heart hoodie, and I was like, I don't feel so alone, because I was there. I have pictures of myself. I was wearing a Tsunami t-shirt, whatever. I figured I'd be the only hardcore person there, but to my surprise, I saw somebody wearing a Have Heart hoodie. And then I go to KCON, I'm seeing people rocking Gulch merch, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like this, I'm not the only hardcore kid, which obviously I didn't really think that I was, but I was like, the crossover is there. It's always not a big crossover, but I know it's not so strange for me to be into this. But eventually run into some kids at the Twice Encore. They compliment my Blood for Blood t-shirt. I'm like, oh, hey, cool. We find out we have mutual friends. They're from Fresno. I have friends in Fresno. Shout out to the Fresno hardcore scene. Shout out Epsara, Control, Distort, the vibes. Super cool scene up there. And it was a pleasure to talk to those guys. And then I didn't think anything of it, right? Nice interaction, whatever. But fast forward, we're at Brave Girls in Koreatown, and I see a dude wearing a Magnitude t-shirt, and I'm like, I have to say something to them because I'm friends with Magnitude. I think it would be funny to send them a picture. I'm like, hey, like, I'm at a K-pop concert. There's some person wearing your shirt here. Come to find out, the person wearing the Magnitude shirt is the person that I talked to at Twice, and we just agreed, like, hey, this is our second time running into each other. Let's exchange socials. So from there, become friends on all the socials, and then I get invited to their Discord, and it's this cool Discord, and all we talk about is K-pop and life, whatever, and it's really awesome. It's something that like we're all super active in, and we always talked about how cool it would be for all of us to get together for Twice, because that's like all of our like ultimate groups, right? Like there's so many cool K-pop groups, but when it comes to Twice, like that's it. Like we'll do anything for Twice. So when Twice gets announced that they're doing the Ready to Be tour, we're like, all right, no matter what, we're making LA happen. Like, let's figure it out. So here we are the week of, we have friends flying in from Hawaii, Canada, and Louisville, right? And then there's 2 local guys here, me and the homie Ben. So everybody's slowly trickling in, like half the Hawaii homies are already here. I'm picking up the other half of Hawaii friends on Friday from LAX, and then we got a sick Airbnb, and it's just going to be such an amazing time. I'm so pumped to be able to see Twice again, because when I first got into K-pop during COVID, I didn't know what the reality of shows and concerts were going to be, because A, never been to one, and B, we weren't sure if the world was ever going to get back to normal, if going to shows was even going to be a thing again. So for things to get back to the way they were before COVID, and I've gotten to see Twice multiple times since I first got into them. So to finally be able to get to this point where they're bigger than ever, right? They sold out SoFi Stadium, first K-pop group, first female K-pop group, excuse me, to sell out a stadium, because don't forget about BTS, legendary BTS. They've already done that. They've done Staples. They did Allegiant in Vegas, so they're legendary. But first female K-pop group to sell out a stadium in North America, so shout out to Twice. That's a cool thing that they've achieved. But to finally be able to go with friends that I talk to daily, we built these cool relationships, and for us to be able to go and share our love for Twice and to just be in each other's company, I think it's going to be the best thing ever, because I've already had an amazing time going to Twice alone. So it's just going to be elevated going there with friends who know me on a, you know, real personal level, and we share this same intense love for Twice. It's going to be such a good time. So I'm so excited to be able to go. If you see me there, say hi, let's take a picture, come be in the vlog, right? We got the vlog camera. We're doing weekly vlogs. By the time you're hearing this, the 626 Night Market vlog will be up. So please head over to YouTube, subscribe, check that shit out. I'm having a lot of fun filming and doing that kind of stuff other than doing the podcast. So please support me over there. I'd appreciate it. But it's just going to be something that I've been looking forward to for a very long time. And I'm so excited to finally be able to see Twice again, but this time with some close friends. I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. And they play Moonlight again. Spoiler alert for anybody who does not know the set list. They play Moonlight again, which was one of my top tracks of 2022. Still one of my top tracks to this day. Like, when I listen to that song, it reminds me of Michael Jackson. I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson, the king of pop, amazing music. I love that song. If you're not familiar, go boot up your Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, Bandcamp, whatever, and go stream Moonlight by Twice. It's amazing. You can thank me later. It's such a good song. Like, oh my God, I can't get over how perfect that song is. And for them to include it in the set list again, I'm so happy, because you also gotta think, right? Huge artist, so many songs in their catalog. And since their last tour, they've come out with like a Japanese record, like 2 Japanese singles, like an EP, a full length. There's so much new music. So for them to still include that in the set list is amazing, because they have a long list of hits, right? They could have easily cut that out, but they didn't, and I'm so happy. So I'm so much looking forward to that. It's going to be an amazing time. I cannot wait. But today we had to track down our good friends Brett and Bailey from the new hardcore band Dimension 6 out of Virginia. And it was a pleasure for me to have Brett back on the podcast. Brett's been on the podcast before. He plays in another band called No Other Way. Shout out to all my straight edge people. And Bailey's a newcomer to the podcast, so it was great to have someone new, someone old, and to hear about this new awesome band from Virginia. I'm a huge fan of what they have going on out there. Shout out Killing Pace, Downfall, Richmond Vampire. There's so much cool shit going on in Virginia, but Dimension 6 was a special one for me just because I'm friends with Brett and I'm just really into the demo, and I'm happy to hear some new awesome music. And for me to reach out to Brett and have him still be down, it truly means a lot to me. And it was a pleasure to talk to Bailey and get to know him. It was fun to have them crack up. They tell this funny story about Jamie and Throwdown, which I'm sure you guys will eventually get to, but this was a fun one for me. I love people, especially friends in hardcore, who continue to want to support and do cool stuff outside of just going to shows or reposting flyer. They're actually getting out there, putting in the work, starting a band, doing cool stuff. So I'm really happy that the Dimension 6 demo is out. I'm happy that people are fucking with it, and I'm happy that they were down to come on the podcast to talk about it. It truly means a lot to me. So for anyone who's gotten this far, if you're not familiar with Dimension 6, it's on the Hardcore Caviar playlist. Shout out to all the bands on the Hardcore Caviar playlist, but Dimension 6 is on there. They're awesome. But please hit pause, go boot up your Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, YouTube, Bandcamp, whatever. Go stream the Dimension 6 demo, then come back here, listen to Brett, Bailey, and I talk about the band. It was fun. It was awesome. And I can't wait to do it again. So please strap in, enjoy this conversation. Without further ado, welcome Brett and Bailey to the show. Welcome to the podcast, Brett and Bailey. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and Bailey, when you're leaning like that, you're a little off,
okay,
off screen. Yeah, I know the viewers are going to want to see your full face, so if you could just stay in frame, they'd appreciate that. But thank you for coming on the podcast today. There's been a lot of buzz about your guys' new band, Dimension 6, and I'm a huge fan. I saw a bunch of people posting about it, and this was before I saw you post it, Brett. I just saw it floating around, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'll definitely check it out later today. And then when I saw you post it, Brett, I was like, okay, cool. I definitely have to check it out now, because obviously I've been a fan of what you've been doing in hardcore. So I went and checked it out, and it was awesome. And to see so many of my friends who I don't even know if you know, but they were posting it, and they normally don't just post random demos. So I was actually really surprised to see it getting posted by certain people. And then also seeing on social media people just like not even knowing who the lineup was. They were just so into the music. And I reached out and told everybody that you were in the band, Brett, because at that time you're the only person that I knew. So for it to be out for a short amount of time, but to get so much love, I think is really awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. I saw a few people be like, yeah, like, who the fuck's in this band?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know like anybody in this band. This is sick, which is cool. Cause I think we're all kind of like more low key people. Like, at least on like the internet, I don't think it's not like that type of thing where it's like, we've been like doing like super big bands. So I think it's kind of just like, we're just like normal dudes that go to shows. So yeah, it's kind of like natural in that way, I guess.
Oh yeah.
As far as like you actually do it.
And leading up to it, was there any thought to hype it up, or were you guys just waiting to have everything good to go then post it? Because sometimes a slow buildup can get a little drawn out and people would get over it, and you might build up too much hype for the music that you're putting out. But from my perspective, following you, Brett, I didn't see you post anything about it until the music was actually up.
So we actually posted like a really zoomed in screenshot of like the lion thing on the demo,
Okay.
like the food dog. But that's like the only thing we did. We didn't like really. I think we had like an actual conversation about like not really like building it up to something.
Yeah, we just wanted to put it out, like just
Drop it.
drop it, have it come out.
And for everyone who's listening, can you tell everybody who else is in the band besides you two?
You go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, so our singer's name is Kenny. He did a straight edge band from Roanoke at one point called Step Off. And then we have our drummer Tyler, who's been in all kinds of bands from our hometown and played in previous bands with us. And then our other guitarist Nick, who's also been in previous bands with us, and in a couple other bands, and also plays in a band called Infernal Gaze right now.
Yeah.
Infernal Gaze. Okay.
Yeah, no, actually, Kenny was in Step Off. That band had Jamie Davis in it, and then it had Josh in it.
Right.
You know both of them, I think, right?
I do. I miss Josh and Jamie. Who knows where he's at these days? He's
He's in like a canyon somewhere.
traveling around. Yeah, last I heard, he was gonna fill in for some band of like mutual friends of ours, and I see him on the internet, but not as much as I used to, and I haven't spoken to him in a while. Hope he's doing well.
I think he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I think cause I sent him the demo like before it came out. And he said he was also doing something, like he had like a demo coming out with someone. I think he's living in Boise still.
Okay.
I know he like went out to Oregon and shit like that. But
you're rolling the lid off right now. Jamie's doing a new band.
Yeah, well, no, and I think he was doing something with, what's that band called from Boise?
Rejection Pact.
Yeah, Rejection Pact. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't know if it's still a thing, but I know he's doing some new band besides that.
Interesting. I'll have to hit up my Boise contacts and see if they've heard anything. But Bailey, where are you from?
I am from Roanoke.
Oh, okay. So, damn, that's awesome. Roanoke in the house. Yeah. It was funny when I don't know if I should name this person, but somebody like posted about, who the fuck's in this band, and I hit them up. I'm like, my buddy Brett's in this band. He's from Roanoke. And he came back and was like, holy shit, I haven't heard of Roanoke in a while. I used to go to hardcore shows there back in the day. And I was surprised because he's, like, from my understanding, where he lives is not that close to Roanoke. So for him to know the history and to have gone there before, I thought that was pretty cool.
Is this person from Virginia?
No.
Okay. But I think it was Bob. Because he did post something about that because I followed him before. And he was like, who the fuck's in this band? And like an hour later, he requested to follow me, and then yeah, so I don't know, maybe, who knows.
Shout out Bob Wilson. He's doing awesome stuff. But yeah, that's cool. I've always been a big fan of Roanoke since meeting people like Jamie Davis and Brett and Josh. So to know that you're from there, Bailey, that's cool. Because I just looking at the band camp and you guys just putting Virginia in the bio. I wasn't sure if it was like a Richmond band or what you guys are going to claim.
We have members in like Harrisonburg, and Kenny's from Roanoke. He lives in Harrisonburg now, which is
College Town. Yeah,
College Town, a couple hours up the interstate from Roanoke. And our guitarist is from Harrisonburg as well, and then he lives in Shenandoah. It's like kind of the same thing. And then our drummer is also from Roanoke, lives there currently.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone in the band's from Roanoke except for Nick.
Yes.
He's from Nova.
Oh, he's from Nova?
Yeah, he's from Nova.
Right. He's from Winchester, right?
Yeah.
And how's the scene down in Roanoke these days?
It's pretty sick. Shows are getting a lot of attention. A lot of new people coming out. There's a really dope new venue down there called Flying Panther, like a skate shop, and they have like a nice warehouse space behind, attached to their building, kind of like behind it. And they do a lot of shows, but all the hardcore shows down there are pretty much there. And they just built a stage and stuff in there, and they're getting good attendance and a lot of cool bands rolling through. So it's doing pretty good.
That's awesome to hear. I'm happy to hear that it's doing well, because obviously just being friends with some people from Roanoke over the years and just hearing about the ups and downs, I'm happy to hear that it's in a good place and there's still things going on down there. Cause
it definitely went through a lot of ups and downs over the past 5 to 10 years for sure, but it's really doing good now.
And how's everything out there in the Richmond area?
Sick.
Yeah, it's going good. I feel like it's been like shit like really popped up like after COVID, like
Mhm.
right after COVID, like 2021, like that summer there was like a couple shows. There was like a Regulate, Mind Force, Teddy show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like it was sold out, and then there was like a Enforce show like right after that. It was like a doubleheader. Shitload of people. There was like a big punk show under a bridge. There was like hundreds of people. It's like died down a little bit, I think, in like attendance, but it's still like, I mean, it's like a big enough of a city and like, you know, an established enough scene
Mhm.
to kind of maintain like a certain amount of like attendance. And I mean, there's like, you know, new bands happening, kind of, and you know, it's cool. Yeah, just happening. So
Yeah, Bailey, I see you wearing that Killing Pace hat. I think that band is pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're sick.
yeah, they're actually playing Roanoke, like next month. There's a fest at the Flying Panther called The Floor Is Gone. It's a bunch of kind of like punky, kind of smaller bands, but Killing Pace is headlining it. This kind of old punk band called YDI is playing, and then Dimension Six is playing too.
Yes, I saw the ticket link in your bio, Bailey. So that's that's pretty cool. A lot of bands that I've never heard of on that lineup. So I'm definitely curious to go back and look at the flyer and check some of them out.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I mean a lot of the bands on that are like Virginia bands.
Yeah, a good chunk of them.
I think there's only like maybe a couple of out of state bands like that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but I think it's mostly like Virginia.
Okay, and can you talk about the demo? Like, how long did the recording process take, and when did that even start?
So the actual recording of the demo took 2 days. We just knocked it out really quick. Had it mixed and mastered. Took a couple weeks to get all that done. The actual like songs themselves actually took like 2 or more years to get like put together. Not put together, but they all came together. Then it just took a little while to find like a lineup to do it. Some things just weren't working out, and then finally got the right lineup, booked recording, got in there, knocked it out, and now it's out.
Damn, 2 years. That's crazy that you went through that process for that long. Because Brett did mention that you wrote most of the stuff for the demo.
Yeah, I wrote like all the tracks, and then Brett came in and was like, "Hey, let's change this. Let's move these things around," and added a bunch of things to it.
Okay.
Yeah. He had these songs like they weren't like the exact same songs, but like some of the riffs have been around for like years. Because this is like the fucking like 15th band I've done with them, and like some of the riffs on the demo were like a thing in like 2 bands ago, like fucking like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Kind of. But the songs themselves, I think, like he was saying, it's been like probably 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
And like a couple of different lineups of people. But I think it changed pretty significantly. Like the current versions of them, like the release versions, they're pretty different.
Everything was like done. I would say, man, I'm so bad with like dates and time frames. Everything was done around like June, July of last year, and then I was like, "Yo, this is the final product." We had done like a little like demo for our ears, kind of like to hear it and just hear how it sounded, and that never came out. We just weren't like really practicing. We couldn't kind of get things rolling, and then that just kind of like crumbled. So I took what that was, those songs, and then I hit up Brett and our buddy Nick and the singer Kenny, and I was like, "Yo, let's just do this." And I showed up at Nick's house one day, and we just like we had some mics we got off Amazon. He can do like demos in his basement and stuff, so we just did a quick demo, like a quick word, you know, this is what it's gonna be. Everyone go learn these songs type deal. And we made a few changes right there. Brett made some more changes after that before doing the actual demo, and then we just went and recorded the actual demo and put it out.
Okay, and
I know, so such a long time.
It's been a couple of weeks now. Like, how are you feeling now that it's finally out? Since it took such a long time, and you've seen some of the reactions online.
I mean, it's stoked. I'm super happy with it. I'm like glad people fuck with it. It's cool to know that it like took the time and energy that it did. and then it comes out, and I know it's like, oh, people fuck with it. That feels good. Definitely satisfied with how people are taking it, receiving it.
Yeah, I don't think any of us had like really any expectations.
Yeah, not at all.
I think we just like, I think like the core like idea, or like at least for me, like the core kind of just goal is just to like have fun with your friends.
Mhm.
I think that's like how any band should be. I know some bands kind of have like agendas going in, but I think we're just like chilling and having fun and just like making shit that like we would mosh to or just like go off for. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, but we didn't have any like, set, like we're gonna like put it out, do XYZ, play these shows, hit up these people. We're just gonna make it as good as we can. And just put it out and then just see what happens.
Yeah, and like I said, from an outsider looking in, to see the response and the amount of times that I saw it on my timeline, I think that was really awesome that you guys just kind of quietly put it out there and just let the masses decide, and for everybody to repost it and like we were talking about earlier, like not even really knowing the people in the band. I thought that was like such a cool thing. Just a new band could pop up with no hype or no any kind of real backing, but get that kind of attention. I think that's really awesome, and I feel like that's the music speaking for itself. To the quality that you guys are putting out, just people are really fucking with it right now in the current state of hardcore.
Yeah, I definitely feel like to a degree it was like the music kind of like I was just kind of letting it speak like for itself, because there was a moment when we were in other bands where it was like we were doing it, we were like writing music and stuff, but we just kind of like weren't really pushing ourselves. We were just kind of doing what we would normally do. And then with this, I was like, I want to really like push to make sure that everything is the best it could possibly be, which is one of the reasons that it like kind of took a minute, as well as, just trying to get the right people on board with it.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And can you talk about the name of the band, Dimension 6? Where does that come from?
Oh man. So we were like juggling around some names, and then our singer Kenny is a sneakerhead, and he's really into Nike. And when Nike went to file for their patent for one of their shoes, I forget which one it was, their original like filing name for the patent was Dimension 6. And
yeah, it was like the name for Nike before it was Nike, I guess.
Really? Yeah. So
I think before they chose Nike, it was called like Dimension 6 sportswear brand or footwear or whatever. As far as I know, I mean, that's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
It could be different, but I know it was for sure a name of something for Nike.
That's wild. Yeah. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it was, and then because we obviously were like, oh, that's kind of like deep cut, like it's about shoes and whatever. But
it just,
we just were like, oh, that's kind of sick.
It just sounds. I mean, I've heard like mixed things about it. Like before the music came out, this guy cuts my hair. I was like talking to him, and I was like, yeah, I'm in this band called Dimension 6, and he's like, that name's like kind of bad, but it's probably okay. But I mean, I think it's like, I don't know, because the names we were going with before were just like generic, like ass, fucking like hardcore names, and it's like, it's not like no one's gonna listen to fucking like gun weapon mosh assault or like whatever, like some generic ass, just like fucking aggressive sounding name. Like, I mean, maybe they will, but like, this is like different enough, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of like a normal ass like name for anything that you can name anything. So
yeah, I like it because I feel like there's sometimes too where there's bands that'll like recycle a name from like an older band. I'm just like, okay, like I get it, it's hard to come up with the band name, but when I hear Dimension 6, like it doesn't like ring any bells. Now, like when I hear that, I like automatically think of you guys. So I think it's fine. I don't think it's like a bad name or anything. I think it's cool.
Fuck yeah, thank you.
Well, yeah, I think it's like one of those names that I think if the music is good, you just associate the name with being good.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I think if like the music was bad or like horrible, like it would, I don't know, it's kind of like the name's neutral, so like it, like the music kind of speaks for it, I guess. And then like if it's really good or it's really bad, you associate it with the name. You're just like, oh, that name's cool because the band's good, or it's bad because the band's bad, I guess.
And I'm already thinking like merch designs in my head. You guys, to shorten it, are you guys gonna like do like any like D6, like the letter D, the word 6, or incorporate the number? Because
like maybe I think we talked about it, but it was just like, oh, it's like, oh, yo, D6 it just is a thing, and we were like, oh, well, we're not just gonna do that. We'll like the name's cool. We'll just use the name, and then people just started calling it that. So I think that's probably just gonna happen at some point.
I've been pushing for a jersey, but none of these idiots want to fucking do it. I've been trying to get like a basketball jersey or like a football jersey or a fucking lacrosse penny. That would be fucking sick. Let's do that. But they're like, no. So it's not my band. It's not the Brett band. So, but I think it would be cool, to have like, you can do cool things with like the number. It's like a number band.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who was the last band that did a cool basketball jersey? Because it's been a while, off the top of my head.
Probably like I could see like fucking not Crown of Thorns. What's that other band called?
I don't know.
Yo, when I think of
Danny Diablo, I could see Danny.
For whatever reason, when I think of jerseys, I know that there's like sick hardcore bands that do them and they're like dope. But I just think of like sweaty deathcore kids like beating each other up to like that genre of beatdown deathcore that's like just like dun dun dun. That's just what I think of. It's always been such a turn off. But like, I mean, that shit's dope if you're into it. Yeah, that's just what I think about.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like sitting behind me, like right here, I have I think it's a Division of Mine rugby jersey that they did at Sound and Fury a couple years ago. And then I have like a Halsey baseball jersey, a Twitching Tongues football jersey, and there's a Code Orange basketball jersey in there from, I think this is hardcore. Like, I don't remember what year it was, but I think it'd be cool. Sportswear and hardcore is cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like a fucking like dumb jock. So, so he would fucking shout out Kenny. Not really, he's sick. But he definitely loves like that type of style. So I don't know why we're not doing that, but I'm just gonna blame Bailey for that.
All right. Well,
Bailey and Nick.
Just believe me.
You guys are still a brand new band, so I feel like there's still time to incorporate some sort of jersey.
Yeah, we've already crushed Brett's dreams. It's been out for 2 weeks, and it's crushed. It's over. The dream's dead.
And
the dream is dead.
Is there any merch floating around? Because you guys do have that show coming up. Have you guys started on anything, or are you guys going to start small and then work your way to cool stuff?
We have. So we actually played a show with this band like 3 months ago. At that skate shop in Roanoke. And we made like hoodies for that. Just like last minute, just like we made hoodies and then we made t-shirts. But I don't think they were the logo that we used for the demo. I think it was just like a generic kind of logo.
Yeah.
Not generic, but it was just like our singer, Kenny, he's a graphic designer.
No, the logo is generic. Fucking logo.
Okay, well, yeah. So, but he's a graphic designer. So he just kind of like whipped up something because we were like, we need merch. And he made a logo for some hoodies and then some t-shirts.
Yeah, the hoodie logo is the demo logo.
Yeah. But we're trying to make some shirts for like some stuff coming up with the demo artwork on it. And then hopefully those jerseys.
Jerseys not happening.
Hopefully the jerseys.
Probably will just happen.
Okay, or Brett, you got to go out the grid and just make your own jerseys.
No, he's got to bootleg his own fan shit.
I'll make a 1 of 1, dude. I'll just make one for me.
Yeah, and then I guarantee you make that 1 of 1, people are gonna start bugging you like, hey, where are these jerseys? Where can I get one?
Yeah, see, then you fucking build up that you build up the hype.
Build the economy, bro.
Yeah, you build the economy of that, dude. You just build up the hype for it, because then you like no one else has it but the person.
Supply and demand, economics 101.
That is no, hey, it's true.
Before we got one on, dude, I warned you.
This is awesome. I love having you guys on the podcast. But okay, so merch is happening. But I want to hear about this show that you guys already played. What was the idea about doing that before the demo came out, and how was that? Obviously, was anybody tapped in at that point, or were kids just here to see this new band when you guys played?
I think we had that. So we did 2 demos in total. And we had that second one, like, done, and we had already kind of shown it to our friends
Mhm.
because we were like, yo, check this shit out. So some people like had like heard the music before, but not everyone. But the show idea was just like, yo, our friend Jack was booking a show in Roanoke for like Domain and this band called Accelerate, and I think another band they were with, I'm not sure, but
Yeah, I forgot.
yeah, he just threw it together and was like, yo, do y'all want to play? And we were like, sure, we'll just play a show, because none of us had really played at a minute or in a minute at that time. So it was like, yo, we'll just play the show. We got these new songs, be cool, just go play them. So we did it. Reaction was cool, and yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I think the show was already like a thought out, like planned thing, and then I think they needed an opener. The thing with Roanoke is that there's pretty much like as far as just straight up hardcore bands, there's like a couple bands, so they end up just like opening every single show, and I think that they don't want to do that necessarily, or I guess just kind of old for them just to like open every single show, and like people going, it's like you've seen that band open like 30 times, and like my brother Jack, who books shows there, he knew we were doing a band, and he was like, you should just play it if you have the songs ready, because the songs are pretty much done, we just hadn't recorded them yet. But like all our friends, like it was pretty much like a thing where it's like the average person at that show probably didn't know who we were or like the music, but we had like a core group of like 10 people that were like close to us that had heard the songs and were just gonna mosh. So like it looked like a normal set probably, but it was mainly just because like our friends were just rolling out. So that was the type of thing. And then we just played it. It was fun.
When I used to book shows, that was one thing that I kind of struggled with, was finding bands who wanted to open, because I felt like out here there was like a set group of bands that were always the openers, and I was always waiting for new bands to pop up so I could be like, all right, new band, I want you to open the show, and the bands that have been opening, kind of give them different slots on the bill. But for the time period that I was doing stuff out here, like there was just not really any new bands popping up that wanted to open, and that was always such a struggle, because I felt bad because I saw the potential in these openers, but I would have these lineups where there's like touring bands or way more established bands than the openers. So it's like I can't put you too high up on the bill, because it just wouldn't be right. So that was one thing that I always struggled with. So I think it's cool that you guys were able to pop up and open that show to give the other openers a break from opening shows.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because like we're not like a local band for there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, or like Billy said, we're all from there except for Nick. We all like currently live in different places, so it's like a 3-hour drive for me and Bailey,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a 2-hour drive for Kenny and Nick, and then Tyler was there, so he's like a local, but it's kind of like we're kind of like in this weird spot where it's like that's why we called it like Virginia hardcore, because we're not like really claiming any scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're all from different places, or like we all live in different places, so it's not like that's like exactly what it is, like a Virginia hardcore band. But the thing is with that, like I guess we can be considered a local at any scene really, except for like maybe the beach. But yeah, I mean, as far as like me and Bailey are concerned, I guess we're essentially like a local band for there. Or that's kind of like how we're there. We're just sick because we're from there. So.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And Bailey, you're living in Richmond proper, or where you're at?
Yes, I live in a neighborhood called Oregon Hill.
Okay. Not familiar. I still haven't been out there. Like all these years of having people on from your area, I still, that's like one scene that I've not gone out to, which I need to at some point.
Yo, come out. Come check it out.
Yeah, I'll pay for your points.
I'm not doing that.
No, I feel weird taking stuff like that from people. So I will go out, but I will pay for my own plane ticket.
Yeah, I was capping.
Okay.
Brett ain't got no damn money.
Okay, I'm doing okay.
Rolling,
okay, I want to pause on the band talk real quick. Earlier, before we started actually recording, you mentioned that Dewey, a local legend, is in the other room. How did that happen? Because I think the last time you were on, you were living somewhere else.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
How did you end up there with Dewey? Because the last time you were on the podcast, I'm pretty sure you were living somewhere else.
Yeah, I was living in an apartment, kind of in the city. But my lease was ending, and my roommate that I was with then was moving back to Roanoke. Me and her had moved to Richmond from Roanoke together, like a high school friend. And she moved back, so I needed a place. And Jamie had just moved out of Dewey's house, and he hit me up and was like, Dewey's looking for somebody to live in my room. And it worked out. I mean, because I think I moved right over that tour. Like my lease, or like I was supposed to be out of my old apartment like the day after I got back from that tour. So I had to like essentially like fully move in almost to Dewey's house before we left. And then when we got back from like that like 50-hour drive, whatever it was, across from like Denver to Richmond, I had to then like sleep a couple hours and then go to my apartment and have everything out by like 12 o'clock that day.
Yeah, that was
but yeah, it just worked out, and it's chill. I mean, it's like a bigger house, nice house, but it's in like Henrico, which is like a suburb of Richmond, but it still takes, I mean, it only takes like 20, no, like not even that, like 10 minutes to get like, you know, to any show like downtown. So.
Okay. And now that we're on the topic of you being there with Dewey, and you just mentioned the tour, can you speak about the band? Is it still going? Because I know Jamie's MIA traveling. I haven't seen much from Charlotte. You know, and you're in this new band, and I see Dewey still doing the podcast. So I'm just curious if you can speak about it.
Yeah. I mean, Jamie's out doing his thing. Charlotte died, and then Dewey's doing his video game stuff, which is sick. Check out the Flock. I'll plug his podcast right now. Flock.com. Not the actual address, but it's the Flock. But I mean, we did that tour, and then we had like a record coming out on New Age. Spoiler alert. And then Jamie, like, I think he had maybe already talked about moving before the tour, but he was like, probably not. But then we got back and he was like, yeah, I'm moving to like Boise. And we were like, oh, sick. And then he left. And we tried playing one show, like in the fall, like a fill-in, but it just like didn't work out. But as far as I know, the record's still coming out. I mean, we're pretty much done. Like, I don't think we're going to play another show ever, but I think, because we have the test pressings from New Age, so it might still be coming out. I mean, don't like hold me to that, but I have no idea. But I mean, I think it's safe to say that we're probably done. For no other way.
Damn. Okay.
The Engine 6 is also done.
Yeah, the Engine 6 is done.
Yeah, we're done.
But curious, I had to ask, still straight edge?
Oh yeah. It's been for me. It's been
why is Bailey laughing? I feel like you're lying to me now.
Yeah, just
because Bailey sold out like after 2 months, so that's why. But,
high school, it just wasn't for me. Sorry, Jamie.
This is breaking news.
I think it's been like for me like 6 years this month. Because I'm 24 now. I landed when I was like 18, so like summer after high school.
Okay.
Or like during high school, maybe even like 6 years ago. So.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're still straight edge, because it does bum me out a little when I find out that people that I like, end up breaking, selling out, whatever you want to call it. It does get me down like it used to, but still, like when I hear about certain people, especially people that I used to look up to, it's like, damn, that sucks, but we just got to keep it moving, right? Because when I claimed straight edge, I didn't know anybody. I was just listening to Throwdown in my bedroom, wishing to be cool like Throwdown. But
shout out Jamie Davis.
Yo, we were on that tour. We were. So on that tour, we were driving like, I think we had just played Salt Lake City. And like after the show, I mean, it was like 12 at midnight. So like we were driving to, I think, Boise.
Okay.
And it was like 3 a.m. Like we're in the van, like everyone's asleep. Bailey injured at the Salt Lake City show, like a concussion maybe. So he was like dead in the back, and then Charlotte was like having stomach problems, and so was I. And I like woke up, and it was like 3 a.m. maybe, just pitch black. Like it's the middle of fucking Idaho, so it's like there's nothing. There's absolutely fucking nothing. And like I wake up, and there's just like a fucking like throwdown, just like heavy ass breakdown playing loud as fuck. I fucking look in like the mirror, and Jamie's eyes are like perfect circles, and he has his hat off, and he looked like coked out or some shit, and he was just going like, and it was fucking throwdown. I don't know what song it was.
Every word.
Yeah, he was like on crack or some shit, like on like fucking like gas station boner pills, dude, or something. I don't know, but he was going in on that shit.
He was just trying to stay awake to keep you guys all alive. That's wild.
Yo,
yeah, I would not want to do those overnight drives because I would doze off and we'd all be dead.
Well, yeah, Bailey drove most of the time.
Yeah,
so.
It was terrible. It was horrible. The night drive, awful.
And how did you end up on that tour, Bailey?
I was just like,
I asked him. I hit him up. Or well, me and Jamie, because he was an outsider with Jamie. So that friendship blossoms, and I've known Bailey forever, so we just needed like a merch person / like driver / like TM, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
TM.
Yeah, tour manager. And then,
very professional.
Yeah, so we just hit up Bailey because like we knew he'd be down, and I mean it was sick. I mean he was the only like not straight edge or vegan person, but he still had fun, I think.
For sure.
So
shout out Outsider. That cover art for the last record was awesome.
I'm sorry, the what?
The cover art for the last record was awesome.
Oh yes, Joe Kincaid was kind of had his part set on that. Such a artistic man.
Yeah, and like that record came out, and there was another band, a bigger band. I don't know if they went to the same artist, but they had such a similar art or similar album cover, and I was like, "What is this? This is a Outsider ripoff. We need to get to the bottom of this."
I don't remember. I have no idea.
I had to look it up because it was a huge band. Because I remember just seeing it on social media, and I was like, "I know what that is. That's Outsider."
I've seen this before.
Yeah. And you know it happens. You go to the same artist. Maybe they were just working off an idea, or parallel thinking. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not saying they stole it, but it just looked eerily similar.
No.
But Outsider, did you guys never actually really called it quits? Was there like an official announcement? I'm trying to think.
For like not being a band anymore?
Yeah.
No, not really. We just we played a benefit show in May of right before they went on their tour.
It was last year.
Yeah, last year, right before they went on their tour, we played a benefit show, and that was like we were all just kind of like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore, and we just stopped.
Yeah, they played a Disturbing the Peace last year, and they did that.
Oh, yeah, we did do that. That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I should say this on air, but there was a time where I made a pitch for a West Coast tour, and I specifically asked for Outsider, and the ball was kind of moving, but then there was just some crazy roadblocks. I'll definitely tell you guys about it off air, but I was a fan. Maybe because I was such a fan of Jamie, but I also like the music. So.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I didn't have any hand in any of that. I just played bass, but those guys killed it.
Okay. And what are any of them still doing bands today besides you?
Mac is in Killing Pace. Jamie is doing whatever we talked about.
Jamie's dead.
And then Josh, I think, still plays in his band Blood Ritual, and then fills in for other bands.
No, he's in Blazing Tomb.
Yeah, he's
in
Blazing
Tomb.
Okay.
Blazing Tomb, his really sick band Blood Ritual. Check out Blood Ritual.
Okay, Blood Ritual.
And then
he's filling in for Enforced too, I think.
They have such a cool logo.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. What about who's in that band? Richmond Vampire.
That's right.
I'm not in that band. Yeah, no. It's dude Mondo, and then who else is in that band? Imogen, and then Lee's sibling, the singer of DOM's sibling, is in that band too.
Okay.
Yeah, Zephyr. Yeah, Zephyr. Yeah. Just like some like local like hardcore punk people. I actually just saw them last night. It was sick. Under a Bridge.
That's awesome. Like, yeah, because they just put their demo on Spotify like not too long ago, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Because like I would see the name on flyers, and like I've never heard the band, but that's such a cool name. But when I heard the stuff on Spotify, I was like, this is so sick.
Yo, Google Richmond Vampire. It's like a local myth legend thing.
Okay, yeah, because I was curious about the sound bites that they use in the demo. So, okay, I'll have to do my research and check it out.
Yeah.
And how was that show last night, Under a Bridge? I've been to those types of things. They're cool, but just not really my thing, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure they happen a lot in California, more than they do here, given like the climate and shit and like how it's laid out there. But it was cool. I mean, it was band Sultry from Roanoke, which has our drummer in it.
Okay.
And the Richmond Vampire headlines. And there are a couple other like local punk band. It was like a punk gig, like mostly punk. There's like 100 people there. Yeah, they fished.
Yeah,
it was next to the
fishing
river
before the show.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was cool. Yeah, I mean, I like shows like that because it's like a uniquely like hardcore thing. You know, because fucking like I don't know, like Metallica is not gonna play Under a Bridge. Maybe they will, but like yeah, you know, it's like a HD thing.
Okay.
And also punk thing too.
And is there like a lot of crossover with those, like the punk hardcore and the hardcore scenes? I know sometimes in some cities and some scenes, there's like a real division where like the punks don't want anything to do with hardcore. They want to keep it completely separate.
I feel like that does kind of happen here. Like there is like crossover here.
Yeah, but I feel like, because like, I think people like, especially like, you know, like when you're first getting into it, like people hear like the new like teens or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think like they're super about like just like a genre-less kind of sound, I guess, because there's like a lot of like metal and hardcore and punk people that just like will consume anything.
Okay.
Of like any three of those genres and like kind of like look at it as the same thing. I feel like a lot of people here, even like kind of like the older generations too, are kind of like moving into that mindset of just like it's all kind of one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe there is some like kind of like beef or whatever. I don't know. I mean, or like some type of like diversion there. I have no idea. But it seems like it's more kind of like we're all just down to like see heavy music and mosh. Okay.
And I'm curious from your guys' perspective, being a part of the Richmond scene, with United Blood being absent, you know, them calling it quits, which is still a bummer to me to this day because I was never able to attend. Have you guys felt a void there without having such a big fest presence and having so many people travel in for something like that? Has anybody ever stepped up and wanted to start something new and do something like United Blood and bring that, you know, big scene together?
We didn't really live here when that was like a regular thing.
Okay.
So, I mean, if the climate was different then, I'm sure like, we wouldn't really know.
But, like, we came to shows here during that time period, but we didn't like, we weren't like, I mean, I think like for me, I think like I definitely had like an idea of like what the scene here was like before I lived here because I would only like go to those things. So like if you're only going from like to, like if you like live 3 hours away, you're only going to like bigger shows in this city. You're gonna think like everything's like that, but I'm not sure if it was actually like that consistently. But I know there was the fest last year. He was there. I couldn't go because it was right before the tour, and also I was moving. Went to the pre-show, but that scene like it did well, and it was cool.
Yeah, it was sick. I had a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's been like it's hard to say because, like I said, or like you said, I know we didn't live here during that time period, so I don't know if there's been like a change. I'm sure there maybe has, but it was like a massive fest, and like some of the years, like there's like a flyer back there, is like just insane. If I went out, it's like fucking insane. But I think there was that fest in North Carolina. What's it called this year? Overcome Fest. So I mean, there's fests like around this area. And I mean, like New York's only like just like 6 hours away, and like Philly is like 5-6 hours away. So it's not like you can still like kind of hit bigger fests and like make it the drive in like a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5-6 hours. It's not my like favorite thing, but it is doable because something like that, like obviously for me to get to any of those cities, I have to hop on an airplane to make it doable because I would not want to do that drive from where I live.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the North Carolina one, like, I mean, like Richmond's only like, I think it's in Greensboro, or was in Greensboro, so I think it's only like a 2-hour drive, if that. So it's not, you know, I hopefully they'll do it again, but it's not. I mean, I think there's like enough fests now to kind of like, especially like in this kind of like mid-Atlantic, like East Coast area, to kind of like supplement the loss of that fest. But yeah.
Yeah, that is true. There's so many fests these days, which is cool. I've never had an issue with the amount of fests, just because it gives a lot of bands great opportunities to be able to travel to different markets and be put on a nice showcase and probably play in front of a bunch of people that probably wouldn't ever able to get out to that band's like local scene. So I think that's one thing that I love when I travel to the East Coast and go to a fest. Like I was in Philly for Hardcore Pride weekend back in March, and to be able to see bands like Scarab play their second show ever, I think that was a treat for me because not a lot of bands want to tour out west. Obviously, they want to play, but it's just the trouble of getting out and getting a tour booked or just doing something regional. I know it's not that easy for everybody. So for me to be able to travel to something like that and to see a bunch of bands that I wouldn't normally get to see on the West Coast, I think that's really awesome. So that's why I know sometimes people can talk crap about there being so many fests, but I feel like there's probably more upsides to all these fests around the country than there are downsides, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a huge fest person, but I did go to FYA, the one this year, and that was sick. That was awesome. But besides that, I hadn't gone to a fest in like a while. I mean, part of that's due to COVID, but like also, I mean, yeah, I mean, but I mean, it's good because I mean, it does like attract a lot of people and can kind of a certain type of band kind of like survives off doing fests, like kind of bigger bands in hardcore, I guess. So it's definitely has its place, but I think there might be too many now. I don't know. I feel like it kind of feels like there's a lot being announced, and it's kind of like okay, but I mean, I guess it's a good thing. I mean, it builds the scene and brings people in. Hopefully, they'll stay.
Yeah, because for me, I look at it like from my stance, I can't realistically go to every hardcore fest, and if I'm being honest, I wouldn't want to because I'm just I just don't like being around so many people, and also fests, not even just hardcore fests, but fests in general are just exhausting, long days, a lot of people. So I like to spread it out. So like I was just at Hardcore Pride back in March, and I don't think I'm going to travel for a hardcore fest until I think October. I think there's something going on, but I don't know any details. I just know that I have the time off and I will be there.
Nice.
Sick.
Okay, but getting back to Dimension 6, you guys have that show in Roanoke. That's next month, correct? In July. I'm curious. You guys have plans going forward that you can talk about in terms of shows or traveling outside of Virginia?
Yeah, we're playing a show with Downfall here at this venue called Banditos. And that's next month, the 22nd, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's booking it with our friend Chris. Yeah, it's Downfall, Never Again, Cut Down, Richmond Vampire, and then us opening. So we have that, and then can we talk about the show?
Yeah. North Carolina. We have Chattanooga in North Carolina.
Yeah, we're playing
in August with Combust.
Yeah, and Wreckage.
We just jumped on 2 shows that they're playing down there on their tour. And then is there another one?
Yeah, we have like one pretty much like locked in next month, and then we have
DC as well. We're playing like DC right after the show in Richmond on July 23rd. It's just not like announced yet.
And then we're talking about doing like a 5-day tour type thing, maybe in like September.
Okay, awesome. that's cool that you guys are already getting busy, right? Because the demo's only been out for 2 weeks, so for you guys to want to hit the ground running, I think it's really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we can only do like so much because I mean it's the type of thing where it's like 2 of the dudes in our band, they have kind of like careers, they're married, but I think we're all still trying to do like as much as possible. But I feel like we're gonna have like that kind of like formula of like just doing kind of like weekends and local shit, and then occasionally doing like a week or 2, and then like if a fest is offered, do that. But we're definitely trying to do as much as we're capable of doing, but we don't want to like push it super far. Yeah. You know, so we're not trying to like lose our jobs for this band, but like we're definitely like, you know, we love playing shows.
Shit, I'll lose my job in a second.
Yeah, maybe Bailey will.
No, I just started getting a trade. I don't want to fuck that up.
Oh man, I remember being just young and reckless and just not caring about if I'm gonna have a job to go back to.
Oh, dude, 18, I burned so many fucking jobs. I burned so many jobs. Like 18 to like 20, it was just like when Outsider was a thing, our first band was a thing. We were touring and playing shows, and I would just tell people like, hey, you know, I'm gonna need off work to do this stuff, and they'd be like, oh yeah, cool. And then it would come time to do it, and they'd be like, no, and I'd be like, all right, see you later. And then I'd be back again next week in a different job.
Yo, yeah, I've definitely quit jobs to go to shows that I'm not playing, and I've definitely asked off and gotten written up for doing shit for hardcore.
What it's all about.
I'll probably keep doing it until I'm like 48.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not really. but yeah, I mean, we're trying to do as much as we can do, and you know, we're just trying to kind of like I said, we don't have any like expectation or kind of, we have like goals, but we don't have like, we're not trying to, you know, be like a touring machine, but also, you know, I feel like most bands are like nowadays are doing like that kind of like the weekend shit. Like I don't feel like a lot of bands tour anymore. There's like the internet and shit. Some bands definitely do tour, like kind of like, you know, full time like bands, but I feel like the vast majority of bands just kind of do like shorter runs now because it makes kind of more sense, I guess.
Yeah, and tour is just exhausting. Like you guys both were on that full US. And is like mentally, is that something you guys like, you know, if given the chance, is that something you'd want to do again, or are you guys okay with just?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, yeah, I'd do it, but you also, I mean, it's like, no, that was a smaller tour of like 2 weeks, but at least like for me, like I feel like doing like a full-time hardcore band, you gotta like really have like a specific sound, like, you know, kind of like a specific system. And it's like, I mean, if you're like living at your parents' house, it's like really easy to do stuff like that. But if you're like kind of trying to hold on a job and like you have this kind of other shit to do, it's kind of, it's like you're gonna lose a lot of money, and it's like a lot of like time and energy, especially like in hardcore, you know, because like it's sick, but like you're not making money, and like obviously like, the goal of us is not to make money, but I feel like we're just kind of trying to kind of balance it out with everything else that we have going on. But you know, if the offer is like good, then we'll do it probably.
For sure. Well, I like that approach, right? Because you're not putting too much pressure on yourselves, and you're not putting a lot of expectations out there, you know, for the fans. You guys are just kind of doing things at your own pace, which so far has worked for you guys. So I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, shout out the fans.
Shout out the fans.
Shout out the
it's always so weird having to, because I don't know what else to call them, because, you know, people like, I'm a fan of Dimension 6. Like, I'm not a, you know, I don't feel weird. Sometimes people think that they're too cool to admit that they're a fan of something. I don't care. I listened to your demo a bunch of times. I put you guys on my monthly playlist. So shout out to the Hardcore Caviar playlist. There's a lot of good bands on there. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of what you guys are doing. So I think it's really awesome that, you know, you guys have that approach and just kind of going where the wind takes you.
Yeah, living life, chilling, playing hardcore.
And okay, so 2 years, you know, kind of this writing process for the demo. At what point do you guys all get back into the creative spirit to start on the next project? I know the demo's only been out for 2 weeks, but I'm sure with the love and appreciation that you guys have gotten so far, you're going to want to keep that ball rolling and hopefully keep that going and want to put out something new soon or maybe later.
Yeah, I have like 4 songs done. And I think we're going to get another one going. That one's in the works right now. And then it'll just be the same process again, minus the 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good because I think obviously for like more like established artists, like I always cite Taylor Swift, not because I'm wearing a Taylor Swift shirt right now, but before COVID.
Oh, you would love our singer, Kenny.
Oh
He
my
loves
God.
Taylor
He's a
Swift.
Swiftie.
Really get him on the podcast right now. No, I'm just kidding, but I would love.
Yeah, I'll FaceTime him right now. Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Taylor Swift. I'm looking forward to she's coming here in August. I have to buy resale tickets, which is really annoying, but it's going down. But she would, like I said, before COVID, she was on this 2-year cycle where she would put out an album, she would tour, but that stretch would last for about 2 years, and then all right, that album cycle is done. Here we are with the next one. So I think that's cool, but. In terms of
on the Taylor Swift cycle.
Hey, it's smart. Look at her success. She is amazing. But
I love Taylor Swift. Actually, I don't think I could name a Taylor Swift song, but I know I've heard them.
okay, that's fine.
I know there's one about like bleachers and you're sitting on them.
That's
Is that Taylor Swift?
I don't
yeah.
Oh no.
That's
I think, yeah, I think it's too.
yeah. I'm pretty sure you're referencing Hey Steven.
Yeah.
People, I will not gatekeep Taylor Swift. Anybody who wants to know anything, I'm more than willing to share. I got people on the inside, which this is, I've never said this publicly, but I got people on the inside giving me all the breaking news. Stuff that I shouldn't even know, stuff that they could get in a lot of trouble for. I'm knowing about stuff.
Are you in the,
About Taylor Swift?
Yes. We're deep in there, bro. I'm telling you. Back here, I think it might be. Hold on, I'm going. This shirt right here. This is an unreleased Taylor Swift T-shirt. Should I show you guys? Hold on.
You should.
All right, I'm pretty sure it's okay. For this is a treat for people watching the podcast. Let me pull this out. Give me 1 second. No, that's
This is sick. This is awesome. That's what hardcore is about, right, Dewey?
unreleased. This has never hit the market. This is. I shouldn't even have this. I could get in a lot of trouble for having this. So.
Yo, you're fucked, bro.
You're running call the CIA, FBI.
You're
They're gonna
done.
raid your house. Yo, are you in the Taylor Swift subreddit?
No, Reddit is okay, but I'm not in any really subreddits.
Yo, the hardcore one sucks. Don't join it. It's literally terrible. It's like the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay, I've looked because I am curious. I'm like, what kind of hardcore people are on Reddit? So I go and it's like New Jack City in there.
It's just like dumb. It's just dumb internet hardcore kids trying to cancel people, or trying to it's fucking.
You know, I've honestly never really used Reddit except for if I have a technical question about a video game thing, something I'm doing like a video game or fishing, I'll use Reddit for that. But I don't know how to navigate it, and it'll always I'll click on a thread and it'll be 18 plus mature, and it's I'm looking at a video game thing. Why do I have to do this? And then it makes me download the stupid app.
There's some dark corners of Reddit.
And then I stopped using it.
There's some dark bits.
I don't want to download an app.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing. I like just minding my own business. I don't care about canceling people.
Yo, that's right. Minding your own business.
Yo, yeah, let's just report the
Everyone just
hardcore
chill.
subreddit.
Yeah, everyone just be chill. Be normal.
We're gonna hack it.
It's strange. I love hardcore so much, but obviously there's certain parts of hardcore that I just do not want to associate with, and hardcore on Reddit, it's one of those things. I will stay.
There's definitely some funny things that are posted on there. I mean, it's
I like that mindset. I have to say I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I've never logged on there because like I said, I'll look at it every now and then to see if they've leveled up, to see if they understand what's currently going on, but it just seems like they're talking about the weirdest stuff. I'm like, how do you not know about these things? Or it's really strange. And I get it. Not everybody's going to be hardcore expert, Professor Hardcore, or whatever. But it just seems like these people are just oblivious and aren't even like putting in the effort to even want to learn or participate. It just seems like it's something that they're kind of like like looking in like through like the internet and just so curious.
And they probably don't go to shows.
Which is a lot of people
probably go to like one fest a year, and they're just on the fucking hardcore subreddit talking about fucking a gold hoodie for fucking like 10 hours.
Yeah, and then they're gonna come at you for saying like, what if that one fest a year is all they can afford? Then what?
Oh, I'm canceled.
Yeah,
it's canceled.
Yo, you could go to fucking, how much was the FYA ticket this year?
It's like $10,000. The plane ticket. It was like $100, I think. I don't know. Yeah. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I think that's a fair price.
That's a great price. You see all those. Yeah.
Yeah, I was sick.
You just pick up an extra job for like 2 weeks and you go to FYA. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or sell some vintage merch.
Yo, yeah, sell some T-shirts and then just go to FYA. That's sick. Why are you gonna complain about it?
Or start a band, get good, get asked to play FYA. You don't even have to pay. You just got to show up.
That's fucking crazy.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah, having a good band. Whoa.
You guys are on that path, so I think you guys are doing fine. You guys have a good demo, and there's no ceiling to what you guys can do.
What's the saying?
The sky's the limit.
The sky.
He forgot what that was. Yeah, I forgot what the sky was. I mean, yeah, I think we're all just pretty motivated to keep, because I think we're all like kind of driven people in different ways, and I think we're definitely motivated to like do like the best we can do. And
at
like
the end of the day, it's just like to play hardcore and like put our hearts into it.
Yeah, but also have fun with it too. The thing with like, I mean, yeah, because it's like, yeah, I mean, we're definitely gonna try to like do the best shit we can do, but there's also like a distinct effort on our part to just make it like this 100% like hardcore band and kind of keep it like a certain like sound and keep it like a certain like, because I feel like a lot of the bands coming out in the past few years have kind of like blended in different genres, which is sick. It's awesome. There's some great bands that are doing it that I listen to, but I feel like there's not enough like just kind of like straight up hardcore bands, I feel like. And that's kind of like the goal of this band, is to be like a hardcore band, and not like to like like limit ourselves with that, but just kind of stay somewhat like simple with it, and just kind of straightforward and like meat and potatoes. So
what you're saying is you want to keep big business out of hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So politicians are trying to take it away from us.
Yes. No big business.
But I am curious, when it comes to the local scene, how is the local scene reacting to the Dimension 6 demo?
Pretty good.
I guess
friends fuck with it.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Yeah, our core friends kind of pushed it, which is sick. It's friendly for. I think they put it on like the Richmond hardcore page, which is sick.
Mm-hmm.
And so like there's like a playlist I think on Spotify of like Richmond bands, and they put us on that, which is really it's very very nice gesture. Appreciate it. It's just kind of weird for me at least, because like I feel like I'm not from here, so I feel like I have certain feelings about it. I feel like I'm always gonna be like a Roanoke person.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm gonna do it for like 10 years, I'm still gonna be like it's like I don't expect that kind of reaction, I guess.
Now, what about the person at the barbershop that was talking about your name? Have they listened to it?
I don't know. I'm getting my hair cut in like 2 days. He's gonna tell me. He's probably not gonna like it. I'm sure he'll I don't know. He probably hasn't listened to it, but if he has, shout out.
Okay. Or what you do, bring the demo with you. Have them play it while you get your haircut.
We don't have we have a demo, but it's not the demo that you know and love. It's the Bandcamp demo, or it's the GarageBand demo. It's the one he was talking about that it's not a GarageBand demo. It's like he recorded like bass and guitar, and then our drummer did drums, obviously, and then they kind of recorded it in our practice spot. So it's kind of like a demo.
Yo, you're talking about the ones you burned on CDs?
Yeah, we have like CDs. Yeah. Like we don't have any physical copies of the actual demo right now. I don't know, like we're gonna make them. Stuff Bailey, the boss, but
Bailey's the boss.
Yeah, but I'm sure. I'm sure.
This corporation.
Yeah, I'm sure we will make some physical copies, hopefully. But right now, yeah.
Get your dreams are crushed. No hopes.
Yeah, I can't show my barber
red tape.
Yeah, I can't show my barber the physical copy.
All right, bring your AirPods and be like, all right, while you cut my hair.
Put my AirPods in when you cut my hair and listen to my hardcore band. Yo, that's some shit Brett would do.
Yeah.
Please just listen to it.
No, I bring like a splitter and I have like wired headphones so he can
should listen to it too while he's
and if he doesn't like it, you can just clip the cord and he doesn't listen to it anymore.
Oh my god.
That's wild.
No, they have they just play shit off their phones in there. It's High Point Barbershop. Shout out Richmond High Point.
High Point. I heard a lot of great things. Yeah. You can't see my hair, but my hair is up. It's tied up. My hair looks like trash. My hairstylist, I think that's fair to call him that. He's on tour, and we just had like issues with double booking and me being out of town and him being on tour. So I haven't had my hair done. I'm getting my hair done. The time of this recording, I'm getting my hair done next week, and I am so excited because my hair is annoying. It's too long. It's like 3 different colors, and it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out colors here.
Shout out Jake. He plays in some awesome bands called Ridgeway and Pop Free from out here. Ridgeway is well established. They're the band that's on tour, but he's in this newer band called Pop Free, and they're super sick. It's hard for me to describe them, but you just gotta listen to their music. They have new music which they should put out. I think they filmed like 2 music videos recently, and they're so sick. Okay, and so you have all that stuff coming up. Any big aspirations? When it comes to wanting to do more promotion for the band. Any music videos or any?
We're definitely doing a music video. We just want to play hardcore.
Yeah, we just want to play shows and make fun of each other in the car on the way to the show.
Yeah, that's like literally all I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, hopefully we might be able to get like a physical copy of like some tapes made at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah. And we're doing some more merch, like I said, we talked about earlier. But
send me a link so I can buy some merch. I would like to wear it, promote it. I'll put it right there. Get me a t-shirt. And I'm not asking for free stuff because
I'll send you the jersey.
Yo, you're not getting no damn jersey on this fucking screen, right? But
I will buy merch.
Yeah. What'd you say? Yeah, what'd you say?
I said I'll buy merch.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
Give us your money.
We'll just cash out me $100 right now, and I'll just do whatever you want.
Jersey.
No, yeah, we'll send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm telling you, when it gets here, it'll be right here because this is prime real estate.
Dude, we gotta send it to him right now.
Yeah, let's make a tote bag, dude. Let's the choice to make tote bag.
Yeah, see, this is my sponsor representation. This is Good Fortune Printing out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I just followed them on Instagram recently because I saw some of their stuff. I was like, yo, just hype.
Yeah, my buddy Nate Prosciutti, he sings for Choice to Make, plays guitar in Strength for a Reason, plays in The Fire, which I don't even know if they're a band anymore. And I think he's working on new stuff because he's been teasing like all these like practice spot photos. I haven't asked him about it. I should have asked him. I talked to him recently, but huge fan. I love going to Pennsylvania. I'm a huge fan of the Wilkes-Barre hardcore scene. Shout out Warren. They just put out a split with C4 on Tribe Doom Records. My favorite band from the area, Wild Red. They're amazing. Shout out Jonah, TK, everybody else in the band, Pat. Who else can I shout out from out there? There's a newer band which they just put out a demo, or not just, it's been out. They haven't really done anything to my knowledge. But great scene. A lot of cool stuff going out there, and I love traveling out there. I love going to Wilkes-Barre, love going to Philly, just love going to Pennsylvania in general. Huge fan.
Yeah, Warren's playing here over the summer, I think.
Okay.
June 14th. What day is it?
I have no idea, but I know they're
Warren's
playing
here in 10 days. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Playing
band.
in a house.
In a house. Those shows, I love going to house shows, but I truly cannot believe that people would want to host anything like that, because I would not want anybody in my house that I don't know. I don't want a hardcore show in my house.
Dewey is having a show here on Wednesday.
Wednesday? Who's playing?
What is that?
He said who's playing. He said who's playing.
Oh, who's playing? Yeah. Moral Law, which is the band that we went on tour with last summer.
Mm-hmm.
This band premiered Torment. The band that they're on tour with, that Moral Law is on tour with, I forgot their name. I don't know who else. I can pull up the flyer, actually. I don't want to misquote this.
Okay. And is this inside the house, or are they going to be relegated to the backyard?
It's in the garage. It's in the garage.
It's actually in Dewey's podcast room.
Yeah, it's in Dewey's podcast. He's going to stream it.
He's going to stream it.
Yeah, hold on. The flyer, hold on. Let me say it. So it's Moral Law, Memento, Wasted Space, and then Torment. At the Nest, which is Dewey's garage.
6 p.m., $10.
Yep.
That is
cash only.
That is crazy. Cash only. No Venmo. The worst is when people come up to me and ask me if they could Venmo me to get into a show.
Yo, I do that because I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah,
don't carry cash.
I do that every time. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's crazy. I tell everybody no. It's like cash only, because none of this money is going to me. It's going to all to the bands. I don't want it.
Yeah, I bring in NFTs to the shows. I pay in NFTs.
NFTs. All right.
Yeah.
Dimension 6 cryptocurrency. Let me create it.
6 as currency?
No, so
I got really into that stuff over the pandemic. I didn't get into cryptocurrency. I thought it was the stupidest thing ever.
Okay.
I still think that.
Okay.
But I got into digital coins, digital assets, stock, which they're not the same. People just think they're the same. I honestly think if we did an NFT, it would be great. I think it would be fantastic. It would only cost a couple $100,000 to get it, into circulation. But hey, the payout is insane.
All right, just white.
I'll be able to buy a bass boat.
Just whitelist me so I can get in on it.
What was that?
So just whitelist me so I can get in on it.
Oh yeah, dude, you're gonna have the first digital.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit up Joe Biden and have him make $1 with fucking Kenny's face on it.
Yeah,
oh my God.
And then we'll buy a bass boat. All you need right there.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to think. Has there been any hardcore, legit hardcore NFTs or anything?
Yo, the day the hardcore bands start making,
I'm gonna fucking kill myself, dude.
Dropping out, bro.
I'm gonna jump on the fucking bridge if that happens, dude. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be the Reddit hardcore crowd, and they're gonna be like up making NFTs, and they're gonna post it.
Yo, I don't want to shit on a band, but I know what bands want to do it.
Yo, just say it. Drop it on the podcast.
That's wild. Okay. Well, I'm hoping the show on Wednesday turns out okay. Any chance to get Dewey in the room with you guys right now?
No, you just missed him.
He just walked. I mean, I can text him right now.
You missed him 3 times.
Yeah, he walked by several times.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and text Dewey and see.
I'm gonna text my mom and tell her that I made it to where I was going. Okay. She's
text Dewey. Yeah. He never emailed me his vocals, and he hasn't been on for his podcast appearance. Jamie and him did a podcast. Breaking news: they did a podcast episode that was unreleased because I never got their audio.
Rip.
But I'm still a fan. I still love Dewey. I'm happy to see that he's still doing his thing.
Yeah, he's doing the flock.
Were you or are you a gamer, either of you? Because I feel like with Dewey, his influence, like you guys have to have played something.
Yo, I don't play video games at all.
Yeah,
Bailey hits up our group chat a lot and says download The Forest when I feel myself.
I'm a fucking gamer.
What is The Forest?
So The Forest is like a survival horror game. You're playing like Crashlands on a peninsula and like off the Canadian coastline.
Okay.
And essentially, there's just like tribes of cannibals that roam the island, and they have like really intelligent enemy AI. And you just like craft and build and survive and explore caves and stuff. And I don't want to give it away for any gamers.
Yo, here's Dewey.
Dewey.
What's up?
Welcome back to the podcast.
Hey, what's up?
I'm a huge fan.
Speak Now, Tim McGraw, Red, Picture to Burn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Taylor Swift songs.
You're going off. You just missed. I was showing some merch that's unreleased.
Oh, shit.
I didn't know you were such a fan.
Oh, I used to be. I dropped off after 1980, whatever.
It doesn't matter because she's re-releasing, so you're still in it.
Oh shit.
You're still in it. It doesn't matter. But I'm happy to hear and see that you're doing well. I'm still a fan. Obviously, I still follow you on social media, so I see you doing your thing, which I think is awesome.
That's all I can do, you know.
Yeah. Yo, I was sitting in the bathroom at work at one of my like side hustle jobs, and I was just trying to like write out the clock. So I go on this guy's fucking Instagram to the flock, and it's like supposed to be him playing Fallout New Vegas. And he's just showing fucking shit to the camera. It's not even fucking playing the game. Can you believe that?
Hey, it's his stream. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we got to get you back on the podcast at some point, Dewey. Because I was telling him how I never got your vocal, so that episode was never released with you and Jamie. But
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's all good. We'll get you back on. I'll send you a link so you can book some time.
Yeah, definitely. Just let me know.
All right.
I'm chilling. I'm free as hell.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for making an appearance.
Thank you.
That's crazy. That's funny that you're wasting time watching his stream at work.
Yeah, I did like sling pizzas on the side of Domino's just because I want the money, and I'll get bored and not want to deliver because after a certain point in time, like after a certain time of day, people just stop tipping, and I'll go sit in the bathroom and just like fucking play on my phone or do whatever the fuck I'm doing. I was just, Dewey's playing fucking Fallout New Vegas. I love New Vegas. And I opened it up and it wasn't Fallout New Vegas. It was him fucking looking at shit in his bedroom. Okay. So you're a real gamer. Yeah. Like, not as much as I used to be, but yeah. I definitely enjoy them.
Okay.
I try to like give myself an hour of it a day.
An hour?
If most days. Yeah, just an hour, you know, because it's like I got to play guitar, make dinner, do like chores around the house, do whatever I'm doing to keep myself sane, go fishing, whatever. So I just like give myself an hour to sit down and not touch my phone and just fuck my brain with some video games.
Yeah, see, I'm irresponsible these days. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 6 and Diablo 4, and I'm skipping meals. I'm neglecting a lot of things because it's just too fun.
Like when me and my girlfriend first started dating, she lives in a different city. She lives in Virginia Beach. So there would be days where I would just like we wouldn't see each other for a weekend, and I would be so bored I wouldn't know what to do with myself. And I would just get on Skyrim and I would just play it from the moment I woke up until like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And I was like, all right, I have to stop doing this. This is crazy. This is insane.
Yeah, last night I think it was like 2 a.m. I'm playing Diablo 4 and I'm just like, this is the time that I woke up yesterday. I need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah. There's some moments like that where I'm just like, all right, like I could become a real piece of shit, but it's really fun. It's really fun, and it's so stupid too because when I kind of sit back and think, I was like, I just spent the last 6 hours controlling a necromancer, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. I'm just sitting here for a crazy amount of hours playing this little character that I can't take with me. But it's still so much fun. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, no. What really like fucks me up is the singer of our guitarist's other band, Ryan. He'll get on the game. We'll get on the game and we'll jump into like party chat, and we'll start playing something, and we'll just be fucking sitting there talking shit to each other for like God knows how long. And then I'll look up and it's 4 a.m. and I'm just like, fuck me. And then I sleep the whole day the next day, and my girl's all pissed off at me. Sucks.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like I'll get roped in because I'm in a Discord with some friends from Pennsylvania, and I'll pop in just to say hi, and they'll be like, "Hey, hop on Fortnite, hop on Overwatch," and then we'll play for like whatever 2-3 hours, and then somebody will be like, "Hey, I'm gonna stream Sons of Anarchy," and the next thing you know, we're like 5 episodes deep of like Sons of Anarchy, and I'm like, dude, it's late where I live in California. I can't imagine how early it is in Pennsylvania. You guys, this is crazy.
That's how like my first like online gaming friend I ever made was during the pandemic, and he lives out west where he's in the same time zone as you. I don't think he's in California though. And would have all the energy in the world to play all night long, and then it would be like 3 o'clock my time, like 3 a.m. my time, playing Warzone. And I don't know what 3 o'clock my time would be for you guys, but it would still be like
midnight.
It'd be reasonable for him. Yeah, like he'd just be like, all right, I'm ready for bed. And I'm just like, wait, what? Like, yeah, I'm not staying up till 3 a.m. like you. And I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, shit's crazy. But all right, I am a fan of what you guys are doing. Keep it up. And I hope everybody who's gotten this far into the podcast is telling all their friends about Dimension 6. But before we sign off, is there anything else you guys would like to say?
Brett, I have to think.
Yeah, shout out Virginia.
Yeah, shout out 100% Virginia.
Yes, shout out every scene in Virginia. Shout out Kenny.
Yo, shout out Kenny. Shout out Sultry.
Sultry.
Yeah, shout out Sultry. Go listen to Sultry.
Infernal Gaze.
Shout out fucking all the killing it Richmond bands right now. Shout out fucking Born Hardcore, Junior Beach Hardcore. Shout out The Flock.
Yeah, Flock.
Shout out my job for giving me money to do fun things like this.
All right.
Yeah.
It seems like I'm being a sarcastic dick. I promise I'm not. I'm just a funny guy.
Well, I appreciate your time today. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. I love what you guys are doing, and I hope to see you guys do more. And I can't wait to see you guys and watch you guys grow as a band. I'm definitely looking forward to it. But like I said, I appreciate your time today. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. Please support their band, support their local scene. All awesome stuff. We'll be back soon. Goodbye.
Fuck yeah. Thank you so much, man.